Well, I'm a little late with this one, but we hit 10K subs not too long ago, so here I am with that FAQ. So thank you very much for getting your questions in, and more importantly, thank you for supporting the channel, watching the videos, sharing them, and all that good YouTube social media stuff like I always say. What's up everybody? It's Luke James, not the singer. If you're an indie artist looking for an album review and some promo, you can hit up Luke at redmattersite.com, and this is the 10K FAQ/Q&A special. So I'm going to jump right into it and start reading down the questions you guys send in. So David Rowe asks, what are some of your favorite underground rappers? Right now, I'm sure you guys know by now that I'm into Tut, so hopefully he gets some more stuff out this year. Most underrated rappers, rap groups in your opinion. I actually get asked this one quite a bit, and one name that always comes to mind is Corrupt. I just think he had a great flow, he did a lot of good things for the West Coast, and you could even throw Daz in there, maybe more so as a producer because he made a lot of great beats. And I'll also say that Chamillionaire had a great run, man. His first couple of albums were pretty dope, I thought, and I really enjoyed that Mixtape Messiah series. He also asks, my thoughts on Sage Francis. I don't really follow his music too much, but I do remember listening to his video game freestyle. That was pretty cool. And speaking of video games, David also asks, what is your favorite video game console ever? And for me, it's got to be the SNES. I just have a lot of great memories for that one, Super Nintendo Entertainment System, if you don't know what SNES is. And it just had a lot of great RPGs, the Final Fantasy series, Secret of Mana, Chrono Trigger, all those type of games, so those are what I like. I'm a big RPG fan, so Super Nintendo held me down. Thoughts on 808s and Heartbreaks? I actually didn't like it at all when it dropped, and I'm still not a big fan, but I did like Amazing with Jeezy. That was pretty good. And Dom actually asked me that same question, as well as how I felt about Yeezus. And I still don't like Yeezus, man. Every now and then I go back to listen to it, just to see if I can find some things I like about it, but other than the odd song here and there, I wasn't a big fan of the sound he was going for. But it was very creative, so I get why people like it. Dirty Rag, what made you want to start doing videos? Basically, I just love music and music discussion, so what better way than to review some albums and talk to people about it? H. Solanki asks, who is your favorite wrestler and your favorite video game? I think I've been asked this one a couple of times before. Rey Mysterio Jr. is probably my favorite wrestler, more so because of his WCW days, and my all-time favorite video game is Final Fantasy VI on Super Nintendo. I just thought the characters, the story, the music, everything about it was great, and I still like to go back and play that one sometimes. William Clark asks, can Eminem produce as well as he did with his first 3 albums? I kind of think that's in his past. Those 3 albums are often considered to be his best by a lot of people, I think, but I don't know, man. I think Eminem still has it in him. Despite what some people think, I don't think he's trash. I just haven't been a big fan of his music lately and the beats he picks, so I just want to hear him get on some better production. That's one of the main things. He also asks, how has Kanye West changed hip-hop with his albums? Well, Kanye just always brings something new and creative to the table. We saw that with 808s and Heartbreaks as well as Yeezus, which we just talked about. So I'm looking forward to hearing Swish and to see what he brings with that. And he also asked me, have you shown your daughter SpongeBob? Not yet, but I probably watched like 4 or 5 episodes of Yo Gabba Gabba a day. That's the one that she really likes. Connor PB, if you've listened to all Royce da 5'9's albums, which one is your favorite? I actually haven't listened to all of them, but I would say Prime was probably the best one that he did, and I still like Boom, that old song produced by DJ Premier. That's probably my favorite Royce da 5'9 song. Metal Mickey, since Straight Outta Compton came out, which other hip-hop movie would you like to see and why? And I would say DMX. I read his book, and it's just crazy, man. He lived an insane life, went through a lot of crazy things, and he still is with all these different crack allegations and, you know, different trouble he's been in with the law, all that type of shit. So I'd like to see what a DMX movie would be about. He also asked me, how would you introduce your children to hip-hop and what age would you do it? And which type of songs or artists would you introduce to your child? And I actually already listen to hip-hop with my daughter. She's about 1.5 years old now, but I try to stay away from the overly graphic and sexual stuff, obviously. I don't want her twerking the Yin Yang Twins or anything like that, but you know what? Kids are going to hear swear words here and there. I do my best not to play like crazy shit, like I said, but you know, I'll put on some more fun hip-hop for her, or maybe some of the lyrical stuff. She actually really likes Nas right now. I find whenever I put on a Nas song or a Mobb Deep song, she's really going like this. So I guess she likes that sample-based production, which is pretty cool, but you know, once she gets older and starts talking, I might have to kind of scale that back a little bit and listen to some radio edits or something like that. Miguel Soriano, do you watch WWE, and who do you think will win the Royal Rumble and main event WrestleMania? Well, obviously I'm a bit late because we already know Triple H won the Royal Rumble, and I thought that's what was going to happen because I heard a lot of rumors about that. So, you know, that's what happened, and now we got to see what goes on at WrestleMania. Frank Amador asks, are you a baseball fan, and if so, what's your favorite team? Despite all my hats, I'm actually not a baseball fan. I just like hats. Some people hate on me for that, but whatever, man. I collect hats like a lot of people do. Same with different jerseys, you know, like I'm not a big Baltimore Ravens fan, but I like the jersey and I got love for Suggs, so, you know, it is what it is. As for baseball, I just watch the highlights from time to time, and I'll follow it a bit when it comes time to the playoffs, but that's about it for me. What rap collaboration would you like to see in the near future? I'm actually still waiting on that Big Crit and Yellow Wolf collaboration project, Country Cousins, that was talked about years ago, so hopefully that one does happen eventually, because I think their two sounds would mesh together pretty well. Steve Mez, what are your top 5 or 10 non-hip-hop albums of all time? It's always hard to pick exact albums. I say this every time, man. I hate these top 5 and top 10 lists. They're just so hard to put together because there's so much great stuff out there. But some of the artists I like outside of hip-hop include Stone Temple Pilots, Blind Melon, The Darkness, Toro y Moi, and Mayor Hawthorne, just to name a few. Dave Gamir, after hearing Real Friends and No More Parties in LA, are you excited for Kanye's upcoming album Switch, which is actually called Waves now, and I am very excited to hear that project, so hopefully he comes through. Big Leo, what's the first rap album that you ever bought or got as a present, and how old were you? Definitely it was Criss Cross's tape, Totally Crossed Out. A lot of kids had that one, and I think I was around 8 or 9 years old. Now Tyga Woods asks, what can you say about Vaporwave and its relevancy as a genre of music, and what do you think about Plunderphonics? I actually think Vaporwave has a pretty cool sound, man. It's kind of like hip-hop in the sense that it samples from old music and puts a bit of a new spin on it, so when it comes to Plunderphonics, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing as long as props are given and the proper legal procedures are followed through. I actually had to look up what Plunderphonics was because I'd never heard that word, so if you guys don't know what it is, it's basically when you're sampling or taking from old music and making it into new music. At least that's the understanding that I took from it. So I got no problem with that, man, because sometimes it makes some incredible new music while also throwing back to something from the past. So people might go back and check that out, check out an older artist's album and their music, etc. So it can be good all around as long as the proper procedures are, you know, followed through with. Phil the Thrill, are you planning on more children? Actually, yes. Our second is on the way for this summer, so I'm pretty excited about that. We're trying to get into a new place, all that good stuff. So we're moving up in the world, and as long as we can keep doing it financially, I could probably see another kid or two in our future. I really like having kids around. They're just the best thing ever. You'll know one day if you guys don't have kids. Caesar Productions, have you ever thought about running another channel where you do vlogs and other stuff outside of reviews? And I actually would love to do that, man. I have so many ideas. I'd love to stream video games or just do some sort of stream where I talk to people live, something like that. So maybe, you know, if my channel right now ever gets sponsored and if I can make some more money doing this, which in turn frees up some more time, I would love to do some more things. And obviously when I get some more space, which I just touched on a minute ago, once we move, I'll probably be doing some more things, so stay tuned for that. The Gray Ranger asks, how long does it take you to record and edit? And that actually depends on the review. Sometimes it doesn't take me long at all. I just do one quick take and I've said everything I want to say. But other times, if it's a longer album and there's more to break down, there's a lot more editing to do. The recording can take a bit longer just to get everything right. So really it depends, but I've gotten a lot faster at doing it. Usually the recording process is between 5 and 15 minutes long, and the actual editing, man, that shit can take hours sometimes. Like if you find a tiny mistake and you gotta splice it and correct the color and stuff like that, it can take forever. But there's processing too as well, like processing the video after you edit it, then you find something wrong, so you fix that, then you gotta process it again, then you gotta process it, get it on YouTube, just all that extra shit, man. It can take a while, but every now and then you get lucky and things look great and it doesn't require much editing. And lastly, Loco Reviews asks, do you dislike DJ Mustard? Because anytime I see you mention him in a video, it's always negative. Now first off, as a person, I don't know DJ Mustard, so you know, I can't hate on him, and he's very successful, and he does have good beats once in a while, but I guess my issue with him is he's not very versatile, and he just tends to do the same thing a lot of the time. A lot of his beats are so similar that they're not interesting. But you know what? He has his hustle. A lot of people love his beats, so good for him. And that's all the questions, man. Thank you for getting them in. Thank you once again for supporting the channel. We hit 10K, so hopefully this year, we can double, maybe even triple that. I really think we can, because it seems to grow exponentially as you guys keep watching and sharing. So make sure you tell your friends and family, man. That's how the channel grows, is just, the loyal people bringing more viewers in. And I appreciate all you guys who have been here for a long time, as well as the new people, man. Welcome aboard. So let's keep pushing in 2016. And I'll see you guys next time. I'll probably do the next FAQ once we hit 15K, because like I said, things grow a little bit faster now, so 15K, we'll do another FAQ/Q&A video. See you next time.